What's going on, Ravens fans? Welcome back into the Baltimore Ravens Rundown. My name is Joey Petersen. We got a very, very special edition of Ravens Live today because we've got our introductory press conference. Our first time getting to hear from the new head honcho of the Baltimore Ravens, Jesse Minter, will be introduced today. In about 15 minutes, I, for one, could not be more excited. I've loved the hire since the day it was made. I cannot wait to hear from him. Cannot wait to hear his answers to questions about his plan at offensive coordinator, his relationship with Lamar Jackson, what he sees as the future for the Baltimore Ravens on the defensive side of the football with him calling the shots on the sideline. It's a really, really exciting day for Baltimore. Fresh new face, fresh new voice, and for the first time in 17 seasons, we will be watching a press conference for a head coach that is not John Harbaugh. So glad you guys are hanging out with us today. Make sure to represent down below and shout your city out. We are live, as we always are, from downtown Dallas, Texas. Studio P, Gage is on the ones and twos. My name is Joey Petersen. Second live show in the last, less than 24 hours. We've been absolutely crushing the content. Last week, we also had 2 days of back-to-back live shows. Our Wednesday live, then Minter got hired on a Thursday. Today is back-to-back with Minter being press conference happening today, and the normal Ravens Wednesday live. Exactly a week ago. Yeah, 7 days ago is when he was hired as the Ravens' next head coach. I asked you in the poll, the Ravens will win blank games with Minter in year one. 48% say 10 to 12, 46% say 13 to 15, 5% say 7 to 9, 2% say 4 to 6. We got Colin checking in down below from Lebanon, Kentucky. Our Flock checking in from Minnesota, probably a little bit colder up there than it is over here in Dallas, Texas. You have two people on a 2-year deal. One is a rookie, one is a veteran. Is your left tackle or right tackle? Which one of them would you trade if you know you cannot sign both of them back? I feel like you probably trade the older one of them just because of the injury history and because he's been proven at that spot. OC names are thinning out, but still some left. Yeah, you still got Davis Webb, Kliff Kingsbury, and now Declan Doyle as well, but I do believe it's going to be one of those three guys. We got someone checking in, Bucks champs from Sydney, Australia. We got someone checking in from Jacksonville. Shout out ATL Ghostface. Hey, Joey, best Ravens creator. Appreciate your Cheerios. We need to hire someone soon, or we're picking someone from college. I do believe we do need to hire somebody soon, but even if we don't, I don't think that it's going to have to go the college route. Born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas, but stay in Kansas City. Our Flock says -5 here. Still snowy, icy here, there. Yeah, a little bit, not much. Like, the roads are pretty much clear, just snow on the grass and some places that kind of just stay in the shed or in the shade. Sorry, Ravens fan in Jacksonville, Florida, my man. Official ATL Ghostface, Idaho. That's where Ice is checking in from. Hope you and your family staying safe out there in this weather. We are. We had a fun, nice little long weekend. A couple of work from home days. Us down here in Texas, when the snow comes, it is a blast. The roads shut down. You don't go anywhere. And so it's fun because it only happens once every 3 years. How excited are you for this new era, ladies and gentlemen? Scale it for me 1 to 10 down below in the comment section. I, for one, am putting it around, I'm not going to lie, I'm putting it around a 10. When I tiered out my head coaches, Jesse Minter was in that top tier. He wasn't number one in that top tier. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? We all know that was Brian Flores. But he was up there in that top tier, okay? I've always really been excited. We've always kind of seen this coming. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited just for a new and fresh face that isn't John Harbaugh. I'm just excited for a new direction that the Baltimore Ravens are headed, man. When I was looking forward to the offseason towards the end of this last season, when I was looking, not forward to as in excited for it, but I was just kind of planning ahead, I was thinking about how this offseason is just one of those deals that, man, if they don't move on from John Harbaugh, it could be the most boring offseason ever. But obviously they made that move. Beardman saying 10. Collins saying 8. Mr. Solo Dolo saying 10. Andre saying 10. School doesn't get canceled here unless it's -25 or below. See, school gets canceled here. School has been canceled. They are just now going back, I think, today. Maybe even tomorrow. And there was an inch of ice on the ground. There's not even any ice anymore.
That blows my mind.
It's just what happens, man. Top OC left, Davis, Webb, Declan Doyle, Kliff Kingsbury. Scott's an 11. Well, if we're grading things on a scale of 1 to 10, I think our chatsports.com/Minter hoodies are an absolute 10. If you are excited that Minter is coming, ladies and gentlemen, you can get yourself one of those right now. If you go to chatsports.com/Minter, Gage is putting that link down below in the chat, so just click on it. It'll take you to our website. Get yourself a hoodie for $44.99, or if you just want the t-shirt, you can get those for $30. Again, same site, chatsports.com/Minter. Or if you want them both and you want to gift one, want to keep one for yourself, you can get the hoodie and shirt and save $10 on that order. All of that, chatsports.com/Minter. You can see the design a little bit closer up right there. You love Game of Thrones? Nice little combo right there. If you're excited for this new era of Baltimore Ravens football, all because Jesse Minter's coming to town, make sure to hit that up at chatsports.com/Minter. Again, that is down below in the chat. Gage is putting those links in there. Who do you think should be the Ravens' next OC? Because Cheerios just asked who my top candidate is. I want to hear who y'all's is. I think my candidate's ranked. Go Kliff Kingsbury, number 1, because he's had experience as an offensive coordinator and play caller and head coach in the National Football League. I think that is a big deal for a staff that does not have a lot of experience. My number 2 is Declan Doyle. Okay, he's just been, in the National Football League as a coach longer than Davis Webb has. He's learned under Sean Payton, learned under Ben Johnson. He was handpicked by Ben Johnson to go follow him to Chicago. And then number 3 is Davis Webb. The 3 interviews you have done so far you've interviewed more, but these are the 3 guys that are kind of still left on the table: Davis Webb, Kliff Kingsbury, and Declan Doyle. Look, Lamar wants Kliff. That's a big reason why I have him at the top of my list. And again, I think it just comes down to experience. He's had a lot of it in the NFL, okay? And that is important for a head coach who's never been a head coach, a defense coordinator who's never been a defensive coordinator. It's important to have a guy on staff that at least can take over that side of the football. Todd Monken taking Cleveland. A little bit surprising. I thought they were just going to stay with Jim Schwartz. I like it for Todd. I just think, unfortunately, he's probably set up to fail just because of the situation that is happening, and that is the Cleveland Browns, unfortunately. I says Kliff with all question marks. Yeah, Kliff. What free agents the Chargers do you think have the best chance to land in Baltimore? I would not be surprised if Khalil Mack followed. Tony Jefferson is another name to watch out for as well. I like any of those choices. We can't let them slip away. I could let Davis Webb slip away, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Who do you think should be the Ravens' next OC? I've been asking you that, but we are 7 days in to Jesse Minter's first week as the Baltimore Ravens head coach. Give him a grade so far, A, B, C, D, or F. Not grade the higher, grade his first week. I'm going to go ahead and give him a B, okay? Because I've liked the moves he's made so far. Mike Mickens, Dwayne Leonard, offensive line, defensive backs coach. Like, I have thought those are really, really solid moves by Minter. There just haven't been a lot of them. So that's why it's less than an A, okay? So I'm giving him a B. That is my grade. Maybe a B+. I'll throw it up there to a B+. Colin wants to bring back Owe. Sean Payton fires his OC and led him to 1 seed. Unbelievable. Yeah, I have a feeling Davis Webb might just get promoted to be that new OC. Cheerios says B. A, maybe B. He didn't hire big hires yet. Exactly. That's kind of where my B is. Someone good, LOL. I don't know. Ball, I can't speak on this topic. A+. Coach signings were great for our weaknesses. Yeah, but unfortunately, he's only made 2 of them. Looking forward to some more being made. We talked about it earlier today. Jim Leonard is going to be interviewed for the defensive coordinator position with the Baltimore Ravens. If the Ravens are able to land Jim Leonard, I think that would be a massive, massive swing and a massive, massive get for Jesse Minter. But the thing is, he's also being interviewed for the Bills head coach, or not head coaching, defense coordinator job. And in Buffalo, he'll be able to call plays. He'll be able to run his defense. He'll be able to be the shot caller, right? He's not going to be able to do that in Baltimore because Jesse Minter is the head coach. It's Jesse Minter's defense. Jesse Minter's game plan. Jesse Minter's calling plays. So it would make sense, in my opinion, for Jim Leonhard to take Buffalo over Baltimore. But hey, maybe he loved his time in Baltimore so much in 2008 as a player, he wants to come back there. Frank says B. Colin says B+. Chia says C. User says B+. Hey, if you are excited about Minter in the future, hit that thumbs up button, ladies and gentlemen. If you love the Ravens, like today's video. We got 15 likes. We need to get to at least 40 before this press conference starts in the next 3.5 minutes. So happy for you guys joining us live. We will have the press conference right here, okay? So make sure, do not go anywhere. It's starting in about 3.5 minutes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and like today's video. We got over 100 people watching. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Daily videos all throughout the offseason. In fact, we've been pumping out 2 videos a day every single day this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to have 2 videos out today. So make sure that you guys lock in with us because this is the best place to be for all your daily content, your daily Baltimore Ravens needs. Okay, you can find it right here at the Baltimore Ravens. Run down and subscribe today for 100% free. Christian says, hi to everyone. As a Packers fan, I see 11 wins possible for the Ravens. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate you for the €5 super chat. Going back to the poll, almost 100 votes, 49%, 10 to 12 wins, 45%, 13 to 15. I personally would probably be voting somewhere in that 10 to 12 range as well. But if it was 11 to 13, I think that's where my vote would have gone. What are the chances of Mark getting traded? Not very high, unfortunately. Cato says, I want Kliff Kingsbury. Every season he's OC. His QB's not hurt. He's finished top 10. 100%. And Lamar Jackson wants him. I think that's a big, big, big thing. I don't know if you guys saw the Jesse Minter clip posted on social media, but he was asked about his relationship with Lamar. He says, they're starting to build things. He had a lot of really good conversations with him, which is really, really cool. Obviously, he's probably going to get asked about that again today in the press conference. He'll go into a little bit more detail. But I love to know that their relationship's starting off in a good way. It can continue to go in a good way if Lamar truly does want Kliff for Jesse Minter to make sure that happens. Do you think the Ravens get the Browns DC? No, I don't think they'll get Jim Schwartz. I think it'll either be Jim Leonhard or a guy who was in Los Angeles with Minter this past go-round. With the draft looming, potential needs on this team, I like trying to get Peter Woods and Emmanuel Pregnon. Who do you like first and second rounds? I'm not a big Peter Woods fan. I'm not a really big fan of defensive tackles that early in the draft unless they're like a 100% can't-miss prospect, and I don't think Peter Woods is that. Look, I like drafting on production over projection. I might be old school in that thinking, but I thought it perfectly was, shown with Shamar Stewart this last year. Everybody's praising Shamar Stewart because he had all these traits, and he was so fast and so strong and so athletic, and he only got 4.5 sacks in college, and then he sucked his way. So, I'm not a big Peter Woods guy. Colin says, would you like to see Zach Orr be the Steelers' DC? They actually already hired their DC. It is Patrick Graham, but I would like to see Zach Orr be the next DC. All right, make sure to keep hitting that thumbs up button, ladies and gentlemen. We are 40 seconds away from the press conference. Our first time getting to hear from Jesse Minter. What free agents would you like for the Ravens to keep? I would love for them to keep DeAndre Hopkins. I would like for them to keep Draymond Jones. I would like for them to keep I would not mind them keeping Aloy Gilman at all whatsoever. But if he walks, that wouldn't be the worst thing. Who else is free agents? I want the Baltimore Ravens to keep. Oh, Tyler Linderbaum. I'd say Linderbaum, D-Hop, and Draymond Jones are my three biggest ones. But at least Linderbaum and Draymond will probably run you at least some kind of a pretty penny, especially when it comes to Tyler Linderbaum. We are at time, ladies and gentlemen. It is 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central. We have not started the press conference yet. Also, just tweeted out from Jonas Schaefer, plenty of current and former Ravens in attendance for Jesse Minter's introductory presser. Jimmy Smith, Ray Rice is in the building. Torrey Smith, Nick Boyle, Jamie Sharper, Justice Hill, Teddy Buchanan, Carson Vincent, among others. Already showing support for the new head honcho in Baltimore. 12 likes away from 50, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm excited, man. I really, really am. Do you think we're going to utilize Tez Walker? I do believe so, man, especially depending on who you get coming in here as your next offensive coordinator. That's going to have a lot of effect on Tez Walker's usage, but I hope they do, man. I really, really hope they do. Bilal Kone's in attendance. Travis Jones also in attendance. I'm fired up. 146 people watching. So happy you guys are all hanging out with us over here on the Ravens Rundown. We will have the press conference right here on the channel whenever it happens. Ice asks, is Lamar at the presser? It has not been reported that Lamar Jackson is there. So I would assume no. Lamar Jackson, I'm sure, is back home in Florida training right now, or just living, because he lives in Florida in the offseason. Yeah. No, I didn't. Is it a good? It's a good clip. I'll look at that when the presser starts. No, Chef Spicy Rice. Lamar Jackson is not there. Got some news to tell you. Pittsburgh Steelers talking about trading T.J. Watt. Interesting. In a detective suit, I bet. I don't know what that means. Yeah, people are freaking out on Twitter already about Lamar Jackson not being there. Why hasn't it started? Well, I don't know. We were told 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It is 11:32 a.m. Eastern Time. We have yet to get started, but we kind of like these things. These things never run their smoothest or 100% perfectly on time. I think Jesse Minter will try to be the best out of the defense, turn Mike Green into a beast. I will tell you this. I don't think there's a player on this team that will have more of an increase in production than Mike Green. I think Mike Green, of all the 53 players on the roster, will benefit the most from having Jesse Minter as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? So it looks like they have taken the stage. His two sons, his wife, his daughter, they're taking pictures right now. I'm sure it's going to start any second. And we'll get into some questions here about it. What do you think will focus on the draft? OL, DL, skill position. I think our biggest draft needs, offensive line, okay, defensive line, and cornerback, wide receiver. All righty, Jesse Minter has taken the stage. We got that for you right here on the Ravens Rundown. Gage, you ready to roll? All right, coming at you right now. Is over. You have heard from Jesse Minter for the first time, but not the last time, in the Baltimore Ravens seat as their next head coach. Welcome back in. Press conference is done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a lot from it. I, for one, learned a ton. We're going to have on the channel a little bit later today a video with my takeaways, my 5 biggest takeaways from Jesse Minter's press conference, the things that I noticed, the things that I liked, the things that really, really stood out to me. I just want to say, like, off the top, I really liked his answer about the offensive coordinator and defense coordinator hires. I feel like that's going to be coming down the pike pretty soon. It sounded like those things were very, very close to being finalized. I love the fact that he plans on calling the defense. He said, look, that's what got me here in the first place, and I could not agree more. So I love the fact that that's something he's going to stick with. He's going to continue to be doing that. I like the fact that he's talked to Lamar Jackson. I think the biggest takeaway for me, though, was when he was asked about the identity, when he was asking about what are we going to see when you turn on the film, and he mentioned the one thing that was the most important to me in this whole process. He mentioned it by name, said play like a Raven. Passion, strength, character, courage, intensity, while imposing one's will on opponents with a nasty, tough, determined style of play. In my opinion, that has dissipated over the last 3 years in Baltimore. Ever since Mike McDonald left after the 2023 season, play like a Raven did not exist anymore. It didn't ever exist under Zach Orr. It didn't ever exist in a single game, in a single quarter in the 2025 Baltimore Ravens season. And the most important thing to me was to get a head coach back in the building that values that loves that coaches that is that. And I truly, truly believe that is Jesse. And so just for that alone, man, I think this is a slam dunk, home run, knock out of the park from the Baltimore Ravens. I loved hearing a little bit more about their process. It was long. It was extensive. I think they did their due diligence, and I think they came away with the guy they wanted. It feels like a little bit to me like the movie Draft Day. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie before, but when the morning of the draft, he's got that piece of paper. It says Vontae Mack no matter what. And it felt like from the beginning of this search, Eric DeCosta, Sashi Brown, Steve Bisciotti, they had their pieces of paper that said Jesse Minter no matter what. But they still went throughout the process, and all the process did for them was prove that Jesse Minter was and always has been the right guy to take over for John Harbaugh. Man, there's a lot I really, really liked about that. Love that he's calling the defense. Love you talked a little bit about him being an alpha-type head coach. I would assume over the next couple of days into the weekend, you see some positions start to be finalized, and you see the Baltimore Ravens really, really start to kind of get things going. The coaching hires, we're still kind of waiting. There's a lot that needs to be done, Gage, if we want to show those listicles. Offensively, you've only really locked down two guys. One of them is the offensive line coach. One of them is the associate offensive line coach. So that's really all you've got on the offensive side of the football. Your wide receiver coach is going to be joining the Tennessee Titans staff. You got Dwayne Ledford. You got Flaherty that's going to join Dwayne Ledford as an assistant. And on the defensive side of the football, you got Mike Mickens, defensive back, pass game coordinator. You're still looking at linebackers, defensive line, defensive coordinator. But, man, all that makes me think and all that makes me excited for is, look, it's going to be new. Fresh faces, fresh everything, okay? So that was a fun little 45 minutes. Got a lot of big takeaways. Gage, what was your biggest takeaway from what we just heard from Jesse Minter, Eric DeCosta, Sashi Brown? What's the biggest thing you're taking away, my friend?
I really like the fact that that one question I was being asked about how he kept his rejection letters from.
Yep.
That, I think, with how he played like a chip on his shoulder, I think that's what the Ravens needed also. Like, to play like a Raven mentality. That having that chip on your shoulder, I think, really resonated home. Because I was like, yeah, that just knowing that he has something to prove. He's not just there to settle, he has something to prove. And I feel like with this is his first head coaching opportunity. He's going to have something to prove. And I feel like he's going to knock out of the park. And hearing that he has that mentality going into this position, I think was really what intrigued me the most.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Hey, just a reminder, if you're as pumped up about Jesse Minter being the next head coach, we got some Minter is Coming merchandise that has just hit the shelves, and it needs to be hitting your closet very, very soon. If you go to chatsports.com/Minter, you can get your Minter is Coming hoodies, your Minter is Coming t-shirts, whatever you want of those two options, it can be yours. Chatsports.com/Minter. Gage is doing me a big favor and putting that link down below in the comment section. So make sure to click on that. It'll take you to the shop. You can get the hoodie, you can get the t-shirt, you can get both of them, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to save $10 on your order, chatsports.com/Minter. That is the place to go. Our first ever merch right here on the channel. So make sure to check that out and get yourself some of that as well. If these go well, we're going to continue to keep rolling out merch on the Ravens Rundown. Okay, so get them while you can. They're flying off the shelves. We don't know how many more we have in stock, actually. So if you really, really want them or you're thinking about it, make sure to lock this in and lock this down as quickly as you can. All right, Gage. I think that's going to do it for today's show. We'll be on the channel later today with some news, rumors, and takeaways from that press conference, the 5 biggest things that stood out to me. So we'll see you guys then. That video is probably going up around 2 o'clock, sometime around then. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure to lock us in. Hit that big red sub button. For Gage, my name is Joey Petersen. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and God bless.